Right, welcome to Heroes for Sale. Normally you'd expect to see Andy here, but obviously you're going to have to stick with me today. My name's Dave. Well, as you know, Suicide Squad came out this week, and we were down at the Odeon, all dressed up and having a great time, and this is what we got up to.
So it's the midnight screening of Suicide Squad in the L1 Odeon. Lots of us have come down today to cause some mayhem in the foyer, and we can't wait.
Bigfoot Studios.
What is this?
They look really familiar. We get like 100% of the profit for that.
I don't know if I can do that, I'm sorry.
You just causing trouble again. I suggest you leave. I think it was all her.
We're bad guys, it's what we do.
So that was absolutely amazing. I loved every second of it. Be sure to check us out next time when we talk all about it on Heroes for Sale.
Okay, so that's what we got up to. And here joining me on the sofa today, we've got Chess and Kes, who are there enjoying themselves. Obviously, I couldn't make it, so you didn't see me on camera. But, you know, we're going to talk about how you guys felt about the film. So let's start with you, Kes. What did you think of the film?
Well, as I said when we went to see it, I didn't see much about the previously or anything, so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. I thought it was really funny. Had me in stitches.
Okay, and yourself, Chess?
I loved it. I just thought it was amazing. I just loved it.
So we've got two positive reviews there. That's quite different, because a lot of the things I've been hearing, there's been a bit of stick.
Yeah.
Jared Leto, for one. What a lot of people have been saying, we didn't see enough of him.
Yeah.
Any comments on that?
They filmed so much and they cut it out on him, and I'd be annoyed if I was him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think he had like a hard time, obviously, because of the Heath Ledger. I don't think anyone can quite live up to Heath Ledger, so I think by cutting it out,
Yeah.
I don't know whether it worked in his favour or not, because it could be that we didn't see enough of him and he might have done better.
Been, like, amazing.
Yeah. Or
Right.
it could be that it was just enough for us to see that much, because...
Okay, and one thing that I seen in the news was that they brought the film back into post-production. So it was kind of like they were putting extra scenes in there. Now, what we were discussing earlier is that they might have took some of the Joker stuff out because it was too hardcore for it. And I think it looks like they wanted to lighten it up a bit because of the success of Deadpool, is what I believe, to be honest. Like, that was so good with the comedy value that they've thrown that in there.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that? Do you think that's something that may have happened?
I think, yeah, they did, like, a lot of reshoots, but it was very obvious what was a reshoot when you watched it. It was very, like, choppy.
Really?
Like, it's so hard to explain, but you can see, like, it'd be, like, loads of chunks were taken out. Like, there'd be bits where they'd all be standing around, and then it'd literally cut away, and they'd be at another side of, like, a massive room, but, like, in a second, and it was, like, yeah, it was
But I think the
strange,
general
wasn't it?
thing was the whole plot situation in general.
Okay.
Like, people were saying there was a lot of plot holes. I just think that there wasn't much plot,
Right.
full stop.
Yeah.
Rather than there being plot holes, it was kind of like, well, it said something in the beginning that it then didn't go back to until the end. And then
Right.
that was what the plot was supposed to be about.
Okay, so it left a few things
Yeah.
sort of unfinished. Yeah, so that's not great, is it?
No.
Okay, so who stood out for you the most then, character-wise? I mean, I've got a feeling I know what your best one was.
Yeah, I loved Harley Quinn and I loved the Joker, but I really loved Deadshot as well. Like,
Okay.
Deadshot was amazing.
So Will
I guess.
Smith stole the show for you?
Yeah, like, I think it was marketed like it was the Joker's film and Harley Quinn's film, but it was more Deadshot's film,
it was
wasn't
Right.
definitely
Like,
Deadshot. Well, it started and ended with Deadshot,
Yeah.
didn't it? So it was
Yeah.
like, there was like it had come in a complete circle because it was almost the same shot at the beginning and at the end with Deadshot in both of them.
And I
Right.
feel like he was the only one, like, fighting for something because he had a daughter in it and everything, so it was like,
There was a
everyone else
reason
was,
behind
yeah,
it,
like
wasn't there?
everyone else was just sort of like criminals that were there.
Yeah.
And
He had a motive.
Yeah, he had a motive and he had
Yeah.
something. You
So
were
he,
like,
he had a plot, he had a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything particular about Deadshot? Was it his comedy value? Was it his the fight scenes?
I think
or?
he kind of banded them all together himself, didn't he?
Yeah, it was just, I don't know.
I
he
liked
just,
his relationship with Harley.
Yeah, it was cute, but then also with that the relationship thing, it was like El Diablo was just like, they'd literally spent, it was probably about 5 minutes together, wasn't it? And he was like, oh, I'm not going to lose my family. And it was like, you've literally like, what? Like,
Right.
there was loads of stuff like that, wasn't it? And then they'd be like, they've just met and then they're like really close. And there was not much, you could tell that Harley and Deadshot were like having a thing like dead friendly, but then it was literally like,
There was a bit of flirting going on, I thought.
Yeah,
Like, there was definitely a bit of
okay.
flirting going on.
well, my boyfriend thinks that she, in like future ones, that she's going to go with Deadshot because she'll have to like be like no to the Joker to
Yeah.
make
Right.
everyone happy.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, there's definitely a shipping going to go on.
The other thing I'd like to talk about as well, which was a controversial topic, is the soundtrack.
yeah.
Although it sounds like it's got all these classic rock ballads and tunes that are in there, but were they used correctly? Were they used right?
What do you think?
That's the big issue.
Well, I thought that The Spirit in the Sky has always been one of my favourite songs. And when it came on, I was literally mouthing the words along to it when it was playing. But that therefore distracted me from what was actually going on in the
Right.
movie itself.
Yeah, she was having a sing-along.
I was. I was completely having a sing-along. But obviously that then distracted me from the movie. And it's also, I liked it because of Guardians. That was where I first saw, heard it, was in the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy. So it felt like they were, because of the comedic value that was being added, it kind
Right.
of felt like they were sort of going down a Guardians of the Galaxy route.
Oh, okay.
And obviously it couldn't compare to Guardians.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it, but
Okay. And what about you, Chess? Do you think the timing of these tracks was... Did the... another thing that I've heard, obviously I didn't watch it, so was that most of the songs were in the first half of the film, and then for the rest of the film, we're not seeing as many of the power ballads and iconic tracks.
All I can really remember was just, it was like, every scene seemed to have a massive song in that was like really like overpowering,
Yeah.
but it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes it was just a bit like, okay.
Yeah.
it was
this
at the end
happening?
as well, didn't you say there was...
Yeah,
Queen.
yeah,
Bohemian
Bohemian
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody was in Queen, but then I think that was like, I might be remembering it wrong, but I think that was like cut short because it was in like loads of the trailers.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone wants to hear the bit, but then I don't know if that was actually in it in the end, but I don't even remember them wrong.
Yeah, so, did it live up to your expectations? I mean, it sounds like what's happening with the DC films is that Warner Brothers are kind of like just taking over and sort of having their stamp on it rather than DC's stamp on these films.
I feel like it was sort of changing more towards a Marvel stylized
Okay.
film, but you said, didn't you, about Marvel and DC,
Yeah.
like people are mistaking it for Marvel when it's
Yeah,
DC.
it's like they're really different, like to me, because I'm like literally, I'm brand new to like superhero films and everything. I've never bothered with them like until like the past few years, but it's like they're so different, and I feel like people are watching like all the Marvel films and then being like, oh well, Suicide Squad's gonna live up to that, and it's a completely different company.
It's
do
a
you know what I
different
mean? So
universe,
it's
isn't
like,
it?
Yeah.
And I think that as well, the DC films are actually getting influenced by the box office smashes from Marvel. So like I said with Deadpool earlier, that's come out, it's done really well on a relatively low budget, comedic value. So they've kind of took it back into post-production, put more comedy in there. And then the soundtrack as well, it sounds like they took influence from Guardians,
Yeah.
put those 80s tracks in there.
But it didn't fit in because in Guardians it was
Yeah.
80s because it was like a tape from his mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it had like a storyline behind it, whereas this was just kind of thrown in. It was like, well, where's this come from, sort of thing.
So it was out of context,
Yeah.
would you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a score then out of 10 from both of you. I mean, thinking about it, I mean, sometimes you can sort of be, I don't know, you love DC, so you give it a higher score. Thinking about the characters, did it live up to how they should have been portrayed? So, out of 10, did it meet your expectations?
Yeah, for me, it was like a 9 because I did like how all the characters were.
Cool. Chess, 9 out of 10?
I'd probably give it a 5.
5 out of 10?
5.
That
Because,
sounds like a truer reflection to me.
yeah, because like there was really good points, but a lot of things could have been better. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, there you go. We've got the scores out of 10. We've got a 5 and a 9. I haven't seen it, but then, I'll give you my score when I'm next on the show.
Ooh, what happened to you? Whatever happened to me? What became of watching last night's TV?